Hello guys, this is Distant, and here we are in a 6-player FFA on Penguin Paradise. Starting in the bottom right in the yellow, we have Vegas 0508 playing as Renegades. To his left, we have in the bottom the Lone Wolf, who is in this case lone. In fact, all of these players are lone wolves, but this guy specifically is the Lone Wolf, as in he loans people money, I guess, which he won't have because he's building the ref in the wrong way. This is literally like the worst place you could build the ref on this map. Like literally, like it's far from here and it's far from here. This is like the worst first ref location. But we do have our blue Renegades player here, who doesn't have money to loan people anything, but he's also he is technically a lone wolf, as in he's alone. To his, that was a really weird rant, but in the bottom left here in the green, we have our Marine player, Clumpy666, who may also find that he won't have much to loan people because, well, one, of course, since there's no alliances, you can't loan people anything. Well, two, he is playing an Invaders faction in a 6-player game on Penguin Paradise. Penguin Paradise, yes, it can support up to 6 players, but when you do that, all of a sudden, unless you kill someone, your resources are going to be, your available resources are going to be very low. And actually, talking about killing someone, it looks like Tubby27 is planning to do that. He's going to be up here in the top in the red, playing as Guardians, and his target right now is lijahrock in the light blue, playing as Marines. Our last player here is Gengen887 here in the top right in the orange, playing as Renegades. Okay, that was a 2-minute long introduction. Okay, I could have spent a little less time talking about the Lone Wolf, but talking about the Lone Wolf, yeah, no, this is not how you play. No. The other hand, Vegas is going to be up to 3 expos soon. Might be able to take a 4th or even a 5th from the Lone Wolf here. On the other hand, Clumpy666 is going to be stuck on 3 or actually no, he's going to be able to reach 4 for a bit, because the Lone Wolf, he's going to be able to take advantage of the fact that the Lone Wolf doesn't really know what he's doing. On the other hand, let's say if Clumpy had spawned in the middle of Tubby and Vegas, he would have been in a very bad position, but instead he's actually going to be able to expo relatively aggressively. And Vegas also taking advantage. So this is really interesting because the 3 best players here are definitely Tubby, Vegas, and Clumpy. Not sure exactly what order I'd rank them in. I think I'd put Clumpy first slightly if this was a 1v1 situation. I'm less familiar with Vegas and Clumpy. I mean, I'm pretty familiar with Clumpy, but I'm not familiar with Vegas enough to rank him versus Clumpy. And on the other hand, this is an FFA situation, and so there's a chance that, you know, maybe there might be some kind of upset here. But I definitely think whoever wins this is going to be one of these 3. The interesting thing is they are set up in a so none of them have spawned near each other, which is probably good for all of them, because if 2 of them spawn near each other, the guy who didn't spawn next to them would be the winner. And if all 3 of them had spawned near each other, the guy in the middle would die first. That's just... But strangely enough, despite the fact that this map normally in an FFA scenario is very congested and there's no room to expand, all 3 of these players have found a lot of room to expand, because they found that their opponents that spawn directly next to them have kept mostly to their base. Gengen was only mining from here, but no longer has a harvester. New harvester has spawned because both of his harvesters died. When all your harvesters are dead, you will get a free one as a Armies player, but he's hesitant to harvest here because he's afraid of the units that Vegas... Oh, Vegas is low power. Not sure why, but he is trying to fix that. But yeah, he didn't screw up his build order slightly. But he's not mining from here. Does he even know that this exists? Same thing from Lone Wolf. Both of these players are mining from definitely the wrong spot, and it looks like Vegas is going to punish the Lone Wolf next soon. No loans for him. Oh my gosh, Clumpy even has a harvester over here. So yeah, Vegas, I think he's definitely falling behind Tubby and Clumpy, because Clumpy, despite the fact that normally players can't really get much expos on this map in a 6-player scenario, Clumpy has gone to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mining harvesters, a 7th one and an 8th one on the move. This one is definitely dead though, but this one is going to get intercepted by Vegas probably. But yeah, it definitely looks like the Lone Wolf and Genjin are pretty much out of the game completely, because yeah, they've been mining from the wrong spot. lijahrock did do a little better, but Tubby has been very aggressive versus him, while he's cared less about this front because he knows there's absolutely nothing going on here. lijahrock was relatively new at the time of this game, but at the same time lijahrock actually interacted with the community, and as a result kind of learned stuff, and their name was well known enough, I guess, that Tubby decided that he wanted to kill lijahrock first, while on the other hand I have no idea who Genjin 887 are, and the Lone Wolf is he's lost his HQ. Okay, that's funny. So yeah, but Tubby has been unprovoked for a while. He's been allowed to expand like crazy. I mean, Clumpy has been. Tubby has not punished him very well. Vegas is not. Vegas is just encountering Tubby, and he's realizing, oh my god, that's a lot of manticores. And yeah, he's really not sure if he wants to. He keeps on trying to figure out, do I want to push in, or do I want to pull back? And he's been having trouble deciding. He's been going back and forth, and that didn't work out very well for him. But here come the Wyverns, and these do very good damage versus structure, so I can totally expect this HQ to fall. This HQ is dead pretty much. It's forfeit. And this mining spot is probably also gone. I can't see this ref. Actually, he's going for the ref first. I'm surprised. I would have expected him to go HQ first. But yeah, he's going to go kill the ref first, kill the HQ second. Then he's probably going to get the heck out of here, kill something else. On the other hand, he is moving in on the front line. He should be bringing these units, and well, he should be bringing the manticores in at least. I'm surprised he doesn't have more Gorgons, because he doesn't have any anti-infantry actually, and he has low power right now for some reason. He is also trying to fix that. Tubby, on the other hand, is looking like, now that he's killed lijahrock, it looks sort of like, once again, he doesn't really care about Genjin, so it does look like, oh, whoa, these Wyverns are heading for Tubby. On the other hand, Tubby is falling back. He sees the Wyverns. He's going to try to stop this. The radar is going to get sniped. The radar is going to go down, and then I suspect the Wyverns are going to head in this direction. Looks like a ref is going to go down, then an HQ. That's going to really cripple Tubby. Although on the other hand, at least most of his army's intact. It's kind of unfortunate because it looked like originally that Tubby was going to move in and attack Clumpy while Clumpy's army was distracted fighting Vegas. That was going to be very interesting to watch. On the other hand, it does appear that since okay, it looks like Tubby is pissed. He's gonna try to go for some sort of counterattack to try to make sure he doesn't fall behind too much. He's like, you take out my HQ, I'm gonna take out your HQ. On the other hand, he has been surrounded. I'm surprised Clumpy isn't just gonna try to crush these snipers, because he could do that by walking in like one manticore. On the other hand, he's going to try to defend this with Wyverns and Manticores. I mean, they're going to do okay versus the tanks, versus the Spectres, but these... but yeah, there's some units here that none... Oh, there goes the HQ. So yeah, HQ is dead. Clumpy is in low power. Oh, all those power plants have been taken out. So yeah, Tubby going eye for an eye here. Maybe even actually, I feel like Tubby might have killed more than Clumpy did. On the other hand, though, Tubby lost more than Clumpy did. But I mean, in terms of army count, but at the same time now, Clumpy basically is limited to this. He doesn't have buildings anymore. He's gonna he's gonna have to try to rebuild. While Vegas here has rebuilt his HQ. No, oh, whoa, what's happening here? The Lone Wolf is still alive. Oh my god! Oh my god! The MG infantry. Vegas lost his HQ again. Ouch. Okay, I did not expect Genjin or or the Lone Wolf to do anything here, but in this case, it appears that Vegas is okay, the Lone Wolf has quit now, but not before killing the second HQ. That was actually really funny. But yeah, it does look like Vegas has been running into some econ issues, because I mean, he's mining from one spot. I mean, no, 2 spots. Trying to rebuild his HQ. Looks like Clumpy is pushing in against Tubby with the last of his forces. Meanwhile, Vegas is moving in, taking advantage of the fact that Clumpy no longer has any army here besides a couple of wyverns, and these wyverns will not do very well versus these rocket infantry. And, okay, Clumpy's being forced to pull back, giving Tubby some reprieve. He has rebuilt his HQ. Has he rebuilt the radar? Let's see. I don't think so. Especially since you can tell by the fact he's building light drones, which actually might be decent versus the wyverns. But yeah, these 3 players are actually harming each other a lot here. Genjen, on the other hand, I sort of feel like there's a decent chance he's going to be the second last player left alive because he hasn't done anything and no one has done anything to him. He basically doesn't exist until someone needs to get the win, and then they're like, oh, Genjen is here. But realistically, this is a 3-player FFA between Clumpy, Tubby, and Vegas, with a little interference by lijahrock and that unexpected interference by the Lone Wolf, which was strangely effective. That was totally unexpected, but it happened and it worked. Meanwhile, this harvester is still alive. Okay, so it looks like Clumpy has sort of gone back on his feet. It really helps him that, well, he's still on 3 harvesters. Actually, that isn't that good, but I mean, it's enough. Actually, no, it looks like Tubby considered going into Genjin's base, but it's like, nah. Meanwhile, Vegas seems to be trying to make some moves. No, he's just trying to flank Clumpy, it seems. Meanwhile, while he's been trying to flank Clumpy, he doesn't have any defensive forces besides these weird units over here that are not in a position to defend. Looks like his 3rd HQ is gonna go down. Ouch. Vegas has lost a lot of HQs here. Yeah, and during his weird flanking maneuvers, he has kind of lost any chance of defending this. I mean, with a bunch of rocket infantry, I could have seen him defending versus Manticores and Wyverns, actually, because Wyverns suck versus infantry, and so do Manticores. Yes, rocket infantry are low tech, but at least they're strong. They have strong damage types against both of these, and they also have strong armor types against both of these. It's like Pokemon, it's like that quadruple effectiveness almost, basically. You want to mass those rocket infantry, but he didn't take advantage of the fact that Clumpy doesn't have any I guess if he made too many infantry, Clumpy could have been like, okay, I'll just crush, or he'll be like, okay, I'll make ogres. Actually, he is making ogres now, but that's probably just because he lost his, he did lose his research facility. Okay, so Vegas's last forces trying to move in to do some final damage to Clumpy, failing to do so. Does look like Vegas is on his last limbs. He only has 1 building left, realistically, and he is going to try oh gosh, he's going to try his best to defend this, but it is a futile effort. But he's going to fight to the last man here, to the last building. He's going to give everything he has to this fight. He's not going to surrender. He's just going to let everything die. He's like the Japanese in World War II, except for Clumpy doesn't have nukes. But yeah, okay. I need to stop making really weird World War II analogies, because I've made, I mean, not analogies, more like, what's the term? Illusions, yeah. Because a couple videos ago, I made an allusion to surrendering like the French, and then I made an allusion to fighting like the Russians on the Eastern Front. In Stalingrad, and now I'm talking about the Japanese who refused to surrender and were doing weird kamikaze things until we nuked them. But yeah, on the other hand, so we have our last 2 players. Okay, well, we also have Genjin, but he isn't relevant. Actually, it'd be so funny if he sniped one of Tubby's buildings right now. But I feel like Tubby is in a position to win this. I feel like he does have better infrastructure, because yes, he lost his army against Clumpy earlier, but he was able to re-macro while Tubby had lost his almost all his infrastructure. I mean, Tubby was going to lose earlier, I feel like, when Clumpy did the counter attack. But what saved Tubby was that Vegas then attacked Clumpy, which forced Clumpy to fall back, which gave Tubby time to re-macro, and it's really funny, because because yeah, just the dynamics of this 3-way FFA, like, there's just so much, like, Tubby won so much from the fact that Clumpy was fighting both Vegas and him while Vegas never invaded Tubby, and I kind of wonder if that's because Genjin was actually sort of here acting as like a somewhat buffer state. Okay, guys, I've graduated from World War II illusions to Cold War illusions. This is like Ukraine or something. I don't know. I mean, it's not Ukraine. No, it's more like Yugoslavia, because like Ukraine was pretty much in the. Oh gosh, why am I forgetting words all of a sudden? Okay, yeah, it's because it's 2:30 a.m. in the morning. Of course, I'm gonna forget stuff. I should be asleep right now. But it's pretty much in the Warsaw Pact? No, that doesn't seem like the right word, but I'm gonna call it the Warsaw Pact because I can't think of any other word for it. That's not the word, is it? But whatever. Ukraine was in the Soviet bloc like pretty solidly, while Yugoslavia was doing their own thing. I mean, they weren't too relevant to any. They weren't like a threat to anyone, but they were doing their own thing, and they survived pretty long. And I mean, Genjin, he's survived pretty long. He's been doing his own thing, but he's not been a threat to anyone. But he did his own thing at least, and he survived doing his own thing. I mean, maybe that's where the Yugoslavia analogy maybe falls apart here, because Yugoslavia actually did fall apart, but I mean, they were stable for a while. They did pretty good for a long time, considering the size of their country compared to the Soviet bloc and the NATO and whatever. But eventually they fell, and eventually Genjin is gonna fall. Why am I making weird World War II and Cold War references? Like, this is really weird. Okay, Dissonant, you should be going to sleep now. But yeah, well played by Tubby, Clumpy, and Vegas. So I definitely, Clumpy and Tubby, I definitely say well played too. What happened to Tubby is that, what happened to Clumpy is that, well, unfortunately he ended up getting attacked by Vegas. So I feel like Vegas did not play as strongly as Tubby or Clumpy did. But at the same time, if he wasn't in this game, the game might have went differently. Because I'm very sure that Clumpy got completely screwed over by the fact that Vegas was attacking him in addition to Tubby. So yeah, very influential, just not actually as strong as, like, these were our two main players. Although Vegas was a very major player at the same time, because without him, yes, this game could have gone completely differently. He was a very effective thorn in the back for Clumpy, because Clumpy just... I mean, I feel like Clumpy almost won the game at one point, where Tubby had basically suicided his entire army to take out half of Clumpy's base, but did not take out Clumpy's army. And so Clumpy, without infrastructure, decided, okay, whatever, I'll counterattack, I'll all in here. And if he had committed to that, he would have killed Tubby. Except for the problem is, of course, Vegas attacks, and Clumpy has to fall back, and that gave Tubby the chance to win. So yeah, that's so interesting. So I guess I'll call Vegas Napoleon. Okay, that's a weird... Now I'm making War of 1812 illusions. What the hell am I doing today? Oh my god. Why am I doing this? Whatever. If you enjoyed my strange major war analogies and illusions and references and comparisons and other things, please comment, like, and subscribe. Yeah, thank you. This is so awkward. Dissonant, why are you commentating at 2:20 a.m.? It's specifically 2:21 a.m. right now. I just checked. But yeah, this is... I need to go to bed.